here is a collection of digital sensors from digital cameras. Now, I'm primarily using this to illustrate a point. Keep an eye on these colors here. The blue one is a 35 millimeter equivalent full frame. The green one is what they call an APS-C size sensor. That's what's in the majority of digital SLRs. The Canon PowerShot A810 is what in the majority of point-and-shoots. And the one that says Apple iPhone 4S, the PowerShot A810 is sort of a cream white tan. And then the deep red, the iPhone 4S, well, that's what's in your iPhone. Now, again, remember what these are as we go through this. This is an old Zeiss, or not old actually, this is a relatively new, because it was only introduced 6 years ago, the Zeiss Icon. It's a 35 millimeter film, range finder film camera. The sensor equivalent would be the Leica M9P blue sensor. Notice all the controls. You've got all these different controls. Now, I'm not going to get into the controls because this is not what the video is about. But suffice it to say, all these little knobs and dials here allow you to have complete control over the camera. It doesn't do, it'll do maybe some things. For example, you can throw it into one mode and it'll supplement one setting as you adjust another. But other than that, nothing is completely automated on this camera. Compare that to a film camera like this, where everything is automated. You just hit the button and it shoots. Note that it's a lot smaller, though. Fast forward to the digital age, away from film. You remember the green APS-C sensor, the one that was labeled Next 7? That's the sensor that's in this. But again, take a look. You've got all these controls, and not everything is completely automated. This is not a completely automated camera. Another shot of the controls here from the top. And again, I'll go back to the sensor sizes. In that little Fuji, the sensor was this green one here. Okay? So let's go back to the Fuji. Okay? And again, we have the controls, and nothing is completely automated. Keep in mind this camera is smaller, but we haven't reached the end of our journey yet. This is the camera that would have that cream white sensor, the one that said Canon PowerShot A840. Notice that there are very few controls, just like that other hang on, darn it. I'm sorry, I'm using magnification to move around here. There we go. Where is it? Finally. Anyway, that Nikon, about the same size as this little film camera, right? This is one of those one-use film cameras. But notice again, both of them have something in common. No direct access to all the settings. You can adjust some things, but not everything. In fact, most people with a camera like this would just leave it in automatic. But notice how the smaller size, we go back to the sensor size chart. This is that 35 millimeter. This is that Fuji, the green one. This little sensor right here, Canon PowerShot A810, that's that Nikon. And keep an eye on the red iPhone sensor. Because that's exactly what's in this iPhone. Notice a trend here. Now let me explain something, by the way, about sensor sizes. The smaller you get, the less chance you have at a good result, especially with the digital sensors. First of all, it went from film to digital, so the quality had degraded. Compared to film, the quality had gone down. But as you get smaller and smaller and are forced to put smaller sensor chips into these cameras, and into smartphones even, to have the convenience of having it in your pocket, you ultimately sacrifice the quality that you once had. And it's not just in the camera industry. I mean, take a look. One of these Zeiss film cameras, probably last generations, right? The Leica M3 would still, would outlast any modern digital camera these days. And the cell phones you upgrade every 2 years. Mainly because more than likely they'd end up breaking. I'll have you know that I dropped my iPhone on the concrete several times or on some hard surface. But it begs the question. We take a look again about how the industries don't build things the way they used to because we're so used to a consistent upgrade path that they're always working on the next thing and not concentrating on making the current thing, last or have the quality that we once had. The photography was primarily an example. The main question I'm asking here is, have we sacrificed quality for convenience? And I'm wondering if we'll be able to get that back. What do you guys think? Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and have a nice day.